You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Bring back that beat, DJ.
Playing Hollywood Squares.
Oh, we got this shit, right? And Monique, first of all, let me just get some stuff straight real early in this program. I want to thank you, and I want to check you at the same time. Monique, don't do us. You know churches don't start on time. Don't be stopping us. I'll chop back at you. Blue streak. Freak.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Fourcast. It is at full strength, like Voltron, like Power Rangers, like Transformers. We have full strength.
Like what's happening?
Like Avengers, we have full strength.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for tuning in. Tonight's review is Earth, Wind, and Fire. It's an amazing documentary. It's on HBO. One of the most iconic, I'll just go and say it, one of the most iconic groups transcending decades. And they have a new documentary. It's on HBO. Questlove actually is the director, producer of it. So shout out to him. And it's a NBA Finals night. So game 3, we'll keep you updated on the score. Knicks and Spurs. Real quick, I was telling my wife, this is like the Cowboys being in the Super Bowl. Like the amount of time it's been since the Knicks was this, relevant is a long 53 years since they won the Super Bowl. So, NBA Finals. But Monique, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate the reminder. Blue streak in the building. Monique with the heart. Good to see y'all. Good to see you too.
Heart. That was a chicken.
I can't.
She's gonna fry me some chicken later or something.
Oh, okay.
It's chicken wings.
Yeah.
Hey, real side note, don't go to any of those corny wing stops. All right, there was some posts of them doing all types of ratchet stuff in the kitchen. So go to what's it called? Wings. Go somewhere else, okay? So you're not getting up sick one day.
Wings over 40.
Wings over 40. There you go. Bam. We need to reach out to them for a sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Earth, Wind, and Fire. Doc, give us a little breakdown on the film.
Yes, sir. And I'll say it because he didn't want to say this word. You notice he just called it the Earth, Wind, and Fire doc. It's a little bit more than that. But again, that HBCU education is just in question. So it is actually Earth, Wind, and Fire to be celestial versus that's the way to the world. Directed by multiple award-winning producer, musician, Amir Questlove Thompson. The new HBO documentary released just yesterday at 8 p.m. Central Time. The HBO documentary Earth, Wind, and Fire to be Celestial versus the Weight of the World tracks the beloved multi-genre band origins, influences, and cultural impact, centering around group founder Maurice White, archival footage, both on and off stage, as well as intimate interviews with band members, their families, influential fans, and more help chart Earth, Wind, and Fire's popularity from the 1970s onward.
And this was a really good documentary for us to review. Perfect timing. It just came out. I thought it came out like Sunday morning. And then I looked it up. I was like, don't come out till 8 o'clock. So
I had to stay up late, and I
normally don't do that.
None too pleased.
Hey, but hey, we should get some viewers coming in. So thank you guys for tuning in. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, also BS3 TV on Roku. Join in, give us your thoughts, opinions. We all know Earth, Wind, and Fire. So, you can chime in whatever your song, any memories that you may have. So, man, let's get into some initial thoughts. I'm gonna go to Wilkes first, and we'll back up.
Ooh. Whoa,
Almost forgot.
He is on right now first.
Right, that's correct.
Does he remember? Do you remember what's up? What it's time for?
No. He's like,
he does not. What do we call it? We call it the open mic rating. Remember, we're gonna do one before it, see if you're able to be, changed. We're doing an upfront rating, so it's on you this week. It was being last week.
I'll give it a 5, man. Well, actually 4.9. I don't like Questlove, but besides,
why you gotta do Questlove like that?
I don't like Questlove. It's personal.
With his childbearing hips, but anyway.
Yeah, man. That man.
Wow, that's so much to say right there that I just with the time considerations, I'm gonna let that shit ride.
Yeah.
9 months. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't really like Questlove, but it's excellent work. Excellent, in-depth information, rare footage, people speaking about it. You learn. One thing I really like about documentaries is it's a bittersweet situation too, whereas a lot of documentaries guide you towards a specific ideology. This one lets you form your own opinion. Even had people dissing Maurice White at the very beginning, and took it full circle to say, "Hey, man, we all got flaws. I'm still rocking with him, but he's still a clown." So I really appreciate it. It wasn't a pleasant per se.
Yeah, now the dude called him. What he called him? He's a
shit.
Yeah, he was just sitting back like this too. He just chicken shit. But anyway. All right, Wilkes, because this was your idea. You posted this to the chat, so
the notification that came by, and I was like, "Oh man, what's this?" And I didn't think it was coming out that soon, but I was like, "Wow." And then, of course, like you said, when I got up Sunday, I thought it was ready to go. And I was like, 8 o'clock. I was like, oh.
Man, it pissed me off, man.
Yeah, me too.
Grab it at 2 a.m., man.
Yeah, I was like, But I give it a 5.
We were, that's not, it's one person, man. Get
together. No. Okay. In Wilkes' defense.
Well, no, I'm not blaming Wilkes on this. I'm blaming Ben, who's not orchestrating this shit the way he should. It's only one. Everybody.
It's on.
Yeah, but it's just it was just on A-Trap.
Oh, okay.
It's your initial thoughts only, sir.
Yeah, but it's a 5 later anyway. So, I really enjoyed it. There were things that, of course, obviously I didn't know, but growing up, remembering some of these vinyl covers in the family and having them in the closet in the crate.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, spinning them up if you cleaning the house or if it's a cookout or a hangout. So you're gonna have some Earth, Wind, and Fire in there somewhere. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I really did think these dudes were like from somewhere else. When I first saw it, I was like, I don't know. They sound great.
Yeah. I go ahead.
They look black.
Yeah. Sound like they black.
You look black, don't you? But I enjoyed this. I'm a big fan of documentaries similar to A-Trap, especially when it comes to music, just because you think of them, the writing process, the creative process, being able to see, how they rose up, how they became who they were, and Maurice White and his background. Yeah, when he opened his mouth, I thought he was African or from the islands or something, but he was just a brother from
Chicago.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it, man. I already knew it was gonna be good. Questlove, we've done, I think this is the third thing of a documentary of his we've done. So I knew it was gonna be good. I was just waiting to watch all the details.
Yeah.
Doc.
Yeah, believe it or not, how I take notes, I pretty much know where we're going in terms of the order of the show. So when I put initial thoughts, waiting for it to start, it starts. And my first initial thought was Philip Bailey is amazing. And I put a bunch of A's on that amazing, also known as The Voice, which may be one of the reasons why I didn't give it a 5. Stay tuned.
Whoa, nice
tease.
Nice
What they
segue.
call it in the industry. It's not a segue, it's a tease.
Nice teaser.
Yeah.
All right, so this was really focused on Maurice White. Now it did give the other members of the band some shine. They did interview them, but the bulk of it was about him. So it talked about his life, his upbringing. And initially it gave you, it kind of skipped around. It was like started off at 1971 and it talked about Maurice and Philip Bailey and some of the band. And then it went back to Maurice and his growing up, which was, I felt like giving you a good backstory. But my first question, which Doc, you kind of alluded to it sounds like, were you guys wanting more of the other band members in this documentary?
Absolutely. Especially Philip Bailey. Philip Bailey is one of the most iconic voices of our culture, period. In some circles in the industry, he is called the voice. And you didn't talk about that. He didn't start out as a singer, as you could tell. You had to kind of pay attention to it in the documentary, but you notice early on in their songs, his famous falsetto, name a better falsetto out there. There's probably one or two, but he didn't have that when they first started singing. He was just, full throated, so to speak. Not deep throat, just full throated. That's for you, Mayhem.
Thank you.
That's for you, sir.
Thank you.
If I could get a handshake and damn, out of you, I've done well. Yeah, he's not. He didn't start out. I don't know if he always had it. I don't know if and trust me, you cannot tell. Obviously, you cannot tell the story of Earth, Wind, and Fire without telling an in-depth dive on Maurice White. I get that, but yeah, I the fact that you're asking that question, the fact that I had it already, we haven't talked.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's. I guess when you start watching it, you kind of see where it's going. So I wasn't necessarily disappointed. Well, I've wanted to hear more about the other members, yes, but this was the Maurice White.
Yeah, it was pretty Maurice White driven.
Yeah, that ain't what the title said. It didn't say Maurice White documentary.
Exactly.
Yeah, we just talked about Earth. We didn't get no wind or no damn fire.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, with me, I was cool with it. The reason I was cool with it is because at the end of the day, as you learn throughout the documentary, Maurice White is Earth, Wind, and Fire. Think about it, man. It started off a totally different group of people, totally different group of people.
Mm-hmm.
And he systematically brought in his family, my son, my brothers, my homie Philip Bailey. I am Earth, Wind, and Fire. This ain't Eddie Kendrick and these are the Temptations. I'm Maurice White, and that's Earth, Wind, and Fire. No Maurice White, no Philip Bailey.
Which I think you make my point, though. Without Philip Bailey, would Earth, Wind, and Fire be the same as they are? Think about how many songs he contributed to that give it a specific sound.
Yeah, I get it, but if Maurice don't stand up, if Maurice does not immerse himself in who he is and what he was here to do, Philip Bailey, hey, man, help me please, or welcome to Walmart,
Kmart. One of them, man.
No.
Yeah.
But I think to Doc's point, when they had the initial group they didn't have. I mean, it was a good band, but they didn't have that person to kind of take them to that next level. And then when they did the restructuring of the band, that's when they really took off. Which one of those people was Philip Bailey.
Yeah, I mean, no, I do Devotion, The Reasons. Look, don't get me wrong, man. Phil the man, Easy Lover. You know, I was rocking with him with Phil Collins. I remember that video.
Oh yeah.
But if I don't put this, it's like Otis, man. Otis Williams, man. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. But if Otis don't grab these people, there is no temptation.
Yeah, I give that. And I'm not saying there shouldn't be a deep dive on Maurice for that specific reason, but to tell the story of Earth, Wind, and Fire appropriately, as far as I'm concerned, you gotta have some. How did Philip Bailey started getting some leads? How did his, that's to your point that you generally make on documentaries is an hour and a half, 2 hours isn't enough.
It ain't enough.
That's living proof of that. That justifies that point right there. But yeah, if you again, I'm just a firm believer you can't tell the story of Earth, Wind, and Fire without telling the story of Philip Bailey. That's the reason why there's so many bands that once a few key members start dying off, they can no longer tour. Mm-hmm. Earth, Wind, and Fire was able to tour without Maurice White and still sound like Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In fact, Philip Bailey, when the year he turned 60 years old is the year I went and saw him. And I just walked out of there saying, man, a 60-year-old still with pipes like that is just amazing. So he's the reason why they can still tour without Maurice White, without anybody else. If it's just him and Verdine, they can make this shit sound like Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Mm-hmm.
His mama, let's take a little side note. His mama naming him Verdine. I ain't never met no dude named Verdine. I met some women named Verdine
back in the day. It didn't
Verdine.
I doubt if A-Trap had an issue and he didn't even register with him because it's so and Wilkes is country enough to where it probably didn't. It probably didn't move his needle none. That's just what
Come on, man.
Me is
okay. You know, a community where people named Tyrone, man.
Verdine.
Run around him.
In fact, I might know a Verdine or two.
Hey, we got a cousin named Michelle. That's his name. We call him Shell.
Yeah.
Leslie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a male cousin named Kim.
Virgil Verdine.
Yeah, cousin named Freddie. She was named after her daddy. See, it looks like the way I said daddy.
Exactly.
So quick update on the score. Halftime 64 Knicks, 57 Spurs.
It's been over, man.
They were down.
Knicks trying to do the unthinkable, man.
It's over. It was over before they left San Antonio.
Yeah,
man. It was over.
Yeah.
When at 14 seconds left, when the alien turns the ball over, it's a wrap.
Yeah, so
man, they get a sweep and they do it at home. Crazy. Yeah, they're already going crazy.
Oh, somebody might die.
Right.
Yeah. Hey,
it's not like it's probable.
There was this dude. They was interviewing people on the street, and he was like, "You know what? I just might do crack if they win."
It's New York, baby.
Yeah.
It was like, is it that serious? Like this don't happen every day, man. I just might try crack.
It's gonna be like New Year's and Macy's parade, man. They gonna have to come out in force.
Man. Yeah, it's gonna make those look like.
Oh yeah.
Like bingo at the senior citizens.
Yeah. It's gonna be a walk. Those gonna be walking in the park. They pull this off.
All right, so Maurice grew up in Memphis. His mom left him in Memphis to go to Chicago to help to make a better life. And then 10 years later, she came and got him and brought him back to Chicago. And then later on, you find out his dad passed away when he was young, so he didn't really know him. So mommy and daddy issues for Maurice White. And then to fast forward to everything that he did, but you can see throughout the documentary, I mean, obviously he wasn't perfect, but you got that hole of not really having either one of your parents, feeling that being pushed away, feeling that nobody loves me, all of those different things. So talk about that. Wilkes, I'm coming to you. Talk about that, just how that affected his career kind of negatively and positively.
Oh yeah, I mean, there was some things where if you are trying to find, I guess, that space where you need meditation or these dreams are, taking you to different places. Do you need to zone out? Do you need to meditate? Do you need these things? Because, you just kind of left me not high and dry, I guess, but you just kind of left me to figure things out, and then your dad dies, and it's kind of like, and I'm sure there were things where it's like, oh, well, I wish my mom was here, we could do this, or I can enjoy these things as a family with my parents. But yeah, I can't even imagine that young age, he was probably like, what is happening? Like, what did I do something wrong? Is it me? And like you said, I'm pretty sure that had bearings on obviously his writings. And I mean, I can't even imagine maybe the songs we never got or that never maybe made it to production. But yeah, I'm sure that was pretty rough. But in finding books, he's reading about, being successful and just kind of enjoying life and how to just exist, really. I mean, I'm sure that I can't imagine the dreams he may have had. He was probably haunted by, certain things that went on. And, it's just, I can't even relate too much, but yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And the music was his outlet.
Yeah.
And, he started playing the drums, but Doc, I'm coming to you.
Yeah, it's the reason why Summer Walker put out a good album every 2 years, because a nigga break a heart. Good artists have always used good artists has always used their pain in their work, whether it be on the canvas, whether it be in a choreograph, whether it be in a score, whether it be in a whatever. A good artist will typically use that pain. Michael Jackson is one that's famously known for that. Prince is one that's famously known for that. And hell, mommy and daddy issues. When doves cry, who got a song about mommy and daddy issues that's better than that? Marvin Gaye. So yeah, mommy and daddy issues propelled him. So, it'll either drive you or draw you, which one is it, and some people just have that unique ability to be able to take that pain and turn it into something. Although for him, it came back and got him a little later too, so, but, for the fuel necessary early on, he took it and used it, in a way that turned out positive.
Yeah. Hey, Trap, anything you want to add?
I mean, yeah, I don't know if it's mommy and daddy issues. I just think it's the way as one of the songs, "Way of the World" at that time. There are thousands of people who were left behind, and their parents had to go to other places to establish themselves and then brought up. I just think that was the way of the world, and it's indicative of the inability to communicate love in impoverished situations. You didn't have back then. You didn't have a bandwidth to go, "I'm missing my mother," and I just think you were put on a path of, look. Like I mentioned some of this on my most recent podcast. Back in the day, your parents, they didn't care about your feelings; they just loved you.
Mm-hmm.
Your feelings? What do you mean your feelings? You better eat this food, get your behind and into school. You know what I mean? So I just think it was just the way of the world at that time. I think, I have family members. My dad's siblings suffered the same situation, and so I'm very familiar with this life. This way of life where I have to forge ahead to blaze the trail, and then I'll come back and get you. And then, and as you guys all stated, as Dog stated, eloquently. He took that, what I believe we tend to make our children and young people coddle this pain and teach them how to ball up and curl up and cry. No, you can't. You can't. You're going to find something to pour that pain into. And then here it is. And I'm quite sure, as he stated, Prince, and other, from Prince, Michael Jackson, to everybody Marvin Gaye, who's struggling with his dad's sexuality and his dad's approval, and they just poured it into different instances. But I think it's more normalized than we anticipate.
Oh, it's very normal. 100% right. I think it's more rare to find someone from our culture to not have experienced mommy and or daddy issues than there are to find people who have experienced it. It is much more rare than not. The difference is some people identify an outlet and some people don't, and again, it may be one of the reasons why it was easy to get folks on crack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, it was told to me by a relative, God rest his soul. He was like, hey man, in life, when you see negativity around your parents, you either draw to it or you push away from it. It's ironic that you said that. So yeah, man, and when you raise someone in a painful environment, either they succumb to it or they fight it and destroy it. And like me, like you mentioned, it's hard to find somebody who doesn't have parental issues. I'm one of those people.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I pour myself into my children so fervent, with such fervor, because I remember wondering about my dad my entire youth. My dad died in April. I was born in August. So yeah, you're right, dog. So anything, I almost joined the Navy because at 19, I was in school and I hated it, and I was like, man, I'm gonna join the Navy like my father. So yeah, man, you find yourself doing those things.
Yeah. And again, even things like this for us is an outlet, even in ways where we don't understand necessarily, don't realize, whether it be Queen 3 and King or whether it be this. I mean, just last week, Wilkes was on the verge again, and it wasn't his first time. And think about it. We weren't necessarily talking about a movie that should have necessarily brought that out, but like we say, we watch movies as an excuse to have a conversation,
Right.
and talking about it. I mean, he happened to be one of the ones who didn't talk about it. He was the guy over in the corner when the rest of the group were, talking about this or talking about that, so he showed signs of issues, and we again just are blessed and fortunate enough to have an outlet, whether it's one we created intentionally or came across accidentally.
Right. And his outlet was clearly music. Even his kids were like, his music came first.
Yeah, he said
he was gone.
Doc, it was challenged as being one of the quotes of the movie or film for me because I'm paying attention to that, and he goes, music saved me. And it made me think, how many music documentaries have we heard about artists saying that? Luther Vandross, this was an outlet for him, so a lot of people. So music, again, and if we take and peel back the layers of that onion and what music means to our culture, man, which he kind of dug into a little bit with the kalimba, however you pronounce it, and its connection to our ancestors and stuff like that. And when you play it, that sound evokes something. They mentioned it. They like, man, it's like I'm there. It's like I'm in Africa. Because you're creating sounds that were created there, that meant something, that were used to evoke something, that even if we've never stepped foot in the motherland, if you hear that sound, and it may be why Earth, Wind, and Fire moves us the way that it does, is because some of the elements, no pun intended, in the music.
No, actually, Doc, you should say pun intended.
Yeah.
Pastor Dodd in the building. Thank you for tuning in.
Raptor.
Ready.
H-Rap been giving his eyes, man. I just need to know that part.
You chuckling too hard.
No, man. My joint is on auto.
H-Rap and I may have had a conversation or two about tithing. So,
Okay.
Won't be the most popular in church, but that had it.
Well, yeah, I totally agree, dog, man. I do. You know what? I have a question that's off the beaten path in regards to the documentary. It's a question about rearing children, right? Are we?
Right on that.
Moved into
make it plain, Doc.
Oh, okay. We've moved into a kinder, gentler way of parenting.
True.
The question I have is, have we veered off the road too far?
Yes, sir.
Like me, I knew my mother loved me. It at no point in the history of me have I ever said, she don't love me. Now it was make me sick. Always on my back. You know, I got that.
Ooh, I
don't remember my mom saying, Brian, I love you. But I remember getting a bunch of kisses, a bunch of coddling. Have we veered? Have we gone to the right way? At one point, we were way to the left.
Mm-hmm.
We gone too far to the right. And it's that hurting our children.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what you hit me with just then, that it was the first time that I've come to this realization. But think about it. We didn't get a whole bunch of I love yous, but we never questioned the love. And now we tell our kids, I love you more than ever. It's like it's a daily thing, but they question our love more than ever.
Every day.
And they're hearing it more than ever. So it tracks with what I try to tell people. A pair of lips will say any damn thing. I don't care what you tell me. What do you show me? Yeah. You know, so it's a very interesting, and that is a Queen, Three, and King topic all day long, you know. That'll preach by itself, man. You know, so I think absolutely
me and Wilkes know someone that her kids just
Wilkes and I,
me and Wilkes.
HBCU.
Wilkes. Anyway. But her kids just do whatever, and she caters to them to her detriment.
Yeah, to the kids' detriment.
And to her detriment too.
Yeah, that's right. It's no question. There's no question. That is not a unusual situation, though. Sadly, it's the norm.
And I don't get it. Like you just allowing them to do whatever.
Yeah.
And then you're saddened when it goes sideways and it's all crazy.
Yeah. See, we had unfortunately people from our generation, you'd hear H-Rap, we'd hear it every now and then, you know, that we didn't like the way we was getting our ass whooped. We didn't like the fact that we didn't have a choice about going to church. We didn't have a choice about, well, either you eat it or you don't. You didn't take your ass.
You have a choice. You had
to go to bed.
It is choice.
So
you can eat these black eyed peas.
So we thought, we got the great idea. I'm going to do mine differently. You know, and instead of, you know what, this shit worked. Look at me. You know, I've turned out pretty well. Let me run this shit back the same way. No, we got that control, and we got that opportunity to have a little bit of pushback, and we're gonna do it differently. And Mama, these my kids. You can't tell me how many times you think a black female has said that in the history of our lives. Just in the last 40 years, just in the last 30 years.
Mama, last 30 years.
These my kids.
I couldn't imagine telling my mama that.
I promise you.
Yeah. My mama died and I was scared of my mom.
Yeah, likewise. I mess with her a lot.
Yeah.
I talk trash to her and I say, man, you can't do nothing to me. And you ain't been able to whoop me since I was 8 years old. You know, I let you whoop me. You know, I talk trash to her. But you know, there's a level of respect there.
Yeah.
You know, we heard it like this, right? don't ever get common with me.
Yeah.
You can be cool and all that, but you don't ever get common with an individual that you hold in high regard. That don't mean I'm not going to mess with you. I'm not going to tease you. I'm not going to whatever, but I'm not going to get common in the sense that I forget who you are. And I, in fact, what was it? I think it was Easter, maybe. No, it wasn't Easter because I wasn't there. One of our most recent family events, I talked, we doing right before we were praying to get ready to eat and stuff. It was a big family event. I talked about us getting back to showing the reverence and respect that we used to for our matriarchs. And the matriarch of our family was there. And I said, starting with me, that's the matriarch of our family. And we should be honoring her in a way that is tangible. Like out loud, and I don't know why it struck me to say it, but it felt very necessary and I was inspired to do so, and of course I got nothing but, agreement from the family, but that's what it is. That's who we were. That's how we arrived here, is by showing, reverence to matriarchs and patriarchs. And we just, so yeah, H-Rap, it is, we've definitely gone way, way off the chain, off the hook, off the ledge, shit. We were singing "Don't Push Me" because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. Shit, we didn't have to push these motherfuckers. They jumped.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think people think rearing your children in the way we were reared is detrimental, but I think it's a way to infuse both methods.
No question.
Like I think people confuse obedience with rearing properly. I think it's okay to ask why. I think because you want your child to grow up to be and you can't say, I want you to be your own man. I want you to be your own woman one day. I want you to think for yourself. And then, sit your ass down. Oh, why? Because I'm saying so. Those things are diametrically opposed. You have to allow your child to not as much challenge you, but question. Okay, let's have a conversation. But it still has to be that, as you said, don't get common with me. Or as Mr. Ward used to say in high school, hey, boy, don't get funky with me.
Yeah.
That's just the way you ask why.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Don't ask why in a way that moves you down from 32 teeth to about 27 or 28. Ask why in a way that, hey, I know I'm supposed to do what you're supposed to say me to do, and I will do that. I'm curious, or
Let's get to this comment real quick. Pastor Dye said, we have a new and different way of raising children today. It's like we've copied the white man, and now here we are. Here's what we have now.
Yeah.
Like to the timeout, and there was no timeout.
Yeah.
I'm out.
And everybody get a damn trophy. No, you got y'all asses kicked on Saturday. You don't get the trophy.
Right.
You ain't get no 11th place ribbons, 7th place ribbons.
Yeah.
You won or you lost.
We gonna practice when we get home, so don't get comfortable.
Hey, and that could be, you might have won that day, and that's still my answer.
You still gonna get, exactly.
Yeah,
I like how you drop. I don't like how you dropped that interception.
Yeah.
Well, mom be like, when we get home, it's home. And then you get home, you get all comfortable, y'all about to go to bed. You think you got away with it. You thought I forgot, huh? Yeah, I did, because I'm in the bed now.
That don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
It ain't ever over, so I say it's over.
Right.
Yeah. If you never gotten a whooping and you didn't really do it, and she said, I probably owed you for that, for some shit you got. Yeah. So, and you couldn't argue it because you knew.
Right. You couldn't say nothing. And then it'd be like, so here's some candy. I'm like, why you all snipping?
So that's why I really didn't look at his mom in any kind of way, because it's the way of the world. People.
Yes.
I wasn't at all.
Just get in line. We need the ass whooping the line. Get in the line, everybody.
Some cultures, it happens much more frequently than ours. They don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the thing that threw him off, because they said he stayed with his or somebody named Big Mama, which was in the neighborhood, wasn't necessarily a relative, but
Yeah.
you come back and you got 7 brothers and sisters, and you trying to figure out how do I fit in? I know I'm a part of the family, but am I really a part of the family? Because I wasn't here for 10 years. So I think that mental affected him, but he immediately got into playing the drums. I mean, that was his, which I didn't know that. I think that was one of the things I think we all probably learned. And then he started playing for Ramsey Lewis, and then he decided at some point, all right, I'm doing great doing this, but I want to do my own thing. So that's when he started, like books, like you mentioned, started reading the books and started deciding, all right, let's start a band. And I think one of the biggest things he said, which this is a biblical principle, is write the vision and make it plain, which I don't know if he said it that exact way, but that was the gist of it. Write it down so that you can see it, so that you can speak it, so that you can pray about it. And he was seeing these arenas that he was playing in. He was seeing all of these things that he wanted, and obviously it came to fruition. And you could just see that he believed it so much that it didn't matter. And that's when he started to form the band. Now, I don't know if any of those guys in the initial form, besides his brother, probably was the only ones that was when they restructured it. Is that right?
Mm. It was 3 of them.
Yeah, I thought it was 3 more. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, it was him and 2 more. But yeah, I mean, see, this is what intrigues me about things like these documentaries and anything about history, because I'm a firm believer. Everybody on this panel believes the same thing, by and large. But I also believe that there are pieces taken away from the puzzle that we praise, and the things that in that other piece on that other picture draw us back to we always say write it down, make it plain, and then the tongue is more powerful than this and this, and then people who are not learned will shun you away from transcendental meditation. But isn't that just sitting there waiting on God to download the plan into you? Isn't that what that is? Isn't the meditation making you one with the Lord? Because as Pastor Dye said yesterday at church, you praying, you going up, you talking. Transcendental meditation is allowing God, as I just stated, to download. He didn't use the terms download, but isn't that just the Lord downloading the plan into that you spoke into the existence and giving you the power to do it? Well, we shun away from these things. And that's when I was watching this, I came up with a theory. Like, when you look, months ago I came up with it, but when you look at things like this, when you look at Maurice White, and he grew up in a Christian household 99 times out of 100, and then he's learning about these other entities, and then you notice he goes back to the original form of monotheology, which is the study of one God, and it just pushes you closer. Like when you look at Judaism, they have certain rituals and certain diets to remind them of who they are. And if we start paying attention to this in its entirety, maybe we could fix the world as it is, because that's what if you notice, everything tracked back to fixing the world, and then we can fix the world, and then I can fix the world, and then I can fix the world. It was always inclusive, and that's love. If you include everybody into everything, that's love. What is love? In essence, that is the creator. Yeah. God is love.
Yeah, agreed on that meditation. And I have a cousin, God rest his soul, that was a pastor, and he used to meditate frequently. And, again, I refer to me and being from time to time as some of the teaching that we were under at one point, but sometimes it's just literally making yourself available to God. Some people call it meditation. Some people say, like it was a little bit more practical, where I'm like, Lord, I'm laying here specifically for you right now. If there's anything you need to give me, I'm available. I'm listening. I've shut everything out. Some people do it without saying it. Some
young renegade.
some people do it without saying it, but yeah, it's basically, letting God know I'm listening. Now some people don't want to say that because they know he gonna have you up all night. But yeah, I try to make myself readily available to hear.
And sometimes it's just being still.
Mhm.
Like today's time, we are always doing something. It is rare, besides when you go to sleep, it's rare that you take literally 2 minutes and close your eyes and not do anything. Like, so just being able to do that, to try to block things out. I mean, we got things in our minds that we thinking about, and then you're already off. So like, it doesn't take necessarily a lot, but just being quiet and being still, I think does wonders, especially when you're in today's society, all the things that you think about and or worry about or are concerned about. So, Wilkes, you gonna say something?
No, I was just listening, taking that all in, and of course, I was thinking about just all those things in my prayer bowl that I have that I use sometimes. Because hey, when we talk about frequencies, if I'm not mistaken, there's something about, I think, 44 hertz, but it was changed to 45 hertz or something like that. And that was like a study with like the Nazi scientists or something like that. Like the frequencies would change. That's why like some frequencies, when you play them or you hum, or even if you like that radiation through the body, or I say reverberate maybe, but it does something, and your skin starts to, you get the goosebumps, like it's doing something and it's triggering. That's why these different prayer bowls or the beads, the way they click when they're struck together. I mean, just any little things like that. I mean, when people pray, it's just how you're praying in a certain tone. I mean, sometimes I've seen people, of course, we've all seen it, people praying, and next thing you know, they just dripping in sweat, and they're praying so hard. It's just one of those things where it just does something to the body.
Like a direct parallel to that is that ASMR. I don't know if y'all probably heard of that, but there's people that are it's just certain noises that calm you, or you're watching. They got videos of people that don't speak any English, all right, but they're like cooking food, or they're walking around, or they're doing what they normally do in their everyday life, but it's so quiet, it's calming, and it calms you down. So.
Yeah, 783 hertz is a frequency that's been out for quite some time as well, that people use to just kind of quiet themselves. And
like there's things on YouTube like brown noise. I didn't even know that was a thing until I saw that, and then it was just kind of like it just does something to you. You sit inside. I mean, some people listen to rain sounds. It does something to the body, to the mind.
Yeah. And Maurice White was on top of all of that. And not only did he use that, but he shared it with the band. And the crazy story is they're at the Apollo. Like, how many times have we seen Apollo?
Philly. Uptown in Philly.
Yeah, they were at the Uptown. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Same thing.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Same
they're there. People are, if you can entertain, if we saying entertain us, we are a rough crowd. Okay, we ain't gonna be waiting too long. All right, so so he tells them to get down and let's meditate. And I'm sure they're looking around like how much time we could be sitting here.
Right.
But you think of something that he believed in so much, that his band believed in it, and it calmed them down to the point, even calmed down the crowd to the point to when they started playing, I was like, oh, these dudes is for real.
Yeah. One of the commentators mentioned it, chakra balancing is something that I've, studied the 7 chakras and, getting them in balance from a healing standpoint and, making sure your mind is right and all that other stuff. And he goes, I always wonder why my heart chakra seemed to open up every time I listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire's music,
Yeah.
And he goes, now I get it, because it was such a big deal. That's what he was going for, That's what it was intended to do.
And like Anderson .Paak, who was interviewed in this, I mean, he was saying it like perfectly. When you hear that music, you can't stay still. You can't just be, okay, that's good. You gotta tap your foot, you gotta clap, you gotta move. Yeah. And it's just it's the energy that wasn't there. And like they were saying, they're at concerts, and Prince and Michael are down taking notes. He got a legal pad. I mean, so that tells you which I didn't know that. I mean, that was something I learned, but that tells you just the level of impact on music, period. You can talk different genres, different eras, all of that.
Yes, sir. Who did we lose? A-Track.
Yeah, run around. And he said, Pastor Dodd said, and the creator was called All Into Our Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
So believe it or not, they started as a college band, which I didn't know that. I don't know if y'all knew that.
Yeah, playing in colleges.
This stuff is all. I mean, to certain points, it's very new. But the college thing is interesting because I felt like if you studied music when you got into college, they also would have you forming a trio. From what I can remember, if you got it, I guess if you got it, maybe it's jazz or something like that. Or maybe it was music, because I remember the college here, Cedar Valley, in the Lancaster area, it was one of those things where it was like they had a trio. They would show up to different events. But then I've seen it at other colleges, and if you're studying music, I guess it's more about studying music. More so at it's in New York. I can't think of the name right now. Miles Davis was there, and I'm sure Herbie Hancock may have went through there. But Julia? Julia,
that's what I was thinking. But
so I think it's just a thing that happened. So to that point, what Ben was saying, like, I didn't know that, but I felt like that is a thing, though. Once you get in college, it's kind of, hey, man, you want to maybe take this on the road? We can do a few places up the street, something like that. But I felt like that was a thing, but I didn't know it was a thing with them.
And that's where he found Philip Bailey. Philip Bailey was there at one of those colleges on the stop, and he made an impact on Maurice. And then that was when he said, okay, I'm about to start this band. Do you want to join? And so that was kind of where one of the people that was in his mind to bring into the band.
Yeah.
And then they end up opening for Parliament Funkadelic, which was my parents' favorite group. But I could only imagine what that
make my funk be funk. I want to get funked up.
Let me hear it from
me.
Yeah.
But I think the rest of them was feeling it, but Maurice was like, yeah, we ain't doing this. I don't know about this. But that's a whole nother crowd. That's a whole nother they knew we need this funk in the band.
Make sure we understand specifically what he said. You're saying you thought he was like, we're not doing this, or you saying
he made it seem like he felt uncomfortable?
No, I think it moved him. I think he basically said that what they had been as Earth, Wind, and Fire was no longer gonna be, and he's like, we're not gonna get our ass kicked like this no more.
Right.
We're changing.
He felt like they got outshined.
Right. Because even with the costumes and the band, the horn section, I think all that.
It inspired him. It didn't weird him out. It made him like, shit, let's go crank this shit up a notch.
Yeah.
And that's when he started getting into
that's when they got the funk, the guitar,
and then added the
I think this takes us back to that documentary we did maybe about a month and a half ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, about 1972. This was that same year. That transformation happened that same year, 1972. This is the advent of a musical rebel culture. 2 years before, what's going on coming on? Hotter Than July. All these Stevie Wonder albums that we love. This Earth, Wind, and Fire catches fire. George Clinton, Parliament Funkadelic, they're taking off. This is rebel culture, which eventually morphed into hip hop culture, which is just another iteration of rebel culture. So now, man, I don't think he felt uncomfortable. he knew he had gotten comfortable because he was like, look, man, we turning it out over here. And George and them said, really? Hold my beer.
Yeah, let me show you something.
Because if you notice, they did like the mothership kind of thing. They went into like this pyramid, this prism or whatever the pyramid they would go in. I was like,
they took from them, and they made it their own, but they took from them to kind of make their show better.
Yes.
And then they were at that concert. They were only the black ticket on the list at that concert.
They had got comfortable. It's like being a former athlete. Y'all play sports and y'all were on team sports. If you find yourself the best basketball player on the team in the gym every week, you're in the wrong gym.
Right.
Maurice said we in the wrong gym.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, we in the wrong gym.
Great analogy.
Killing me, guys.
Great analogy.
That is different.
Yeah.
And then just think about the name in itself. We live in the United States of America, and they're parliament. That means we going against what y'all got.
Yeah.
Profanity was not embraced. Think about some of the songs from 1972. We got long hair. They knocking you for long. Marvin Gaye say they hate us because we got long hair. Yeah. Parliament was out there with afros falling down past their shoulders. Afros. Yeah. This is we counterculture. This is not what we're doing. We're not that, and we must show you. And man, that was just the greatest form of inspiration in the history of the world. You look at people and you go, oh God. Hey, I did that. My man Mo. You remember that when Tiger Park? I thought I was killing it when me and you on X Squad. Everybody in my joint. I'm the guy. And Mo showed up.
Right.
I remember to this moment, I was on Lakeshore Drive on Hollywood turned to Lakeshore Drive, and I made that turn and said, man, I got to step my ish up.
Yeah.
Because Mo and that Tiger Park crew, I was like, oh no.
It was different. It was that he was ahead of his time. That's the blueprint for podcasts now.
Right. Yeah. And I said, man, so I can definitely identify with, oh no, you're not, man. Yeah. You a big fish in a small pond.
And they were opening. Their goal was like, okay, we want to open for somebody. Mm-hmm. And his next goal was like, all right, we want to do arenas, we want to do stadiums. Right. Yeah, and I think to your point, A-Trap, that was when it clicked, like, all right, we got to.
Yeah, Rick James had that same effect on people, that Prince was
Rick James on Prince.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Prince was like, oh my God, so and a lot of people were like, okay.
For Parliament, didn't they have George Clinton in the Rick James documentary? He even said, like, we were watching what Rick James was doing.
Yeah. See, that's what's missing in music today. Ben got the hottest album in the world. So I'm gonna do what Ben did, and Dog gonna do what Rap did, and Winston gonna do what Dog did. No, you got to up it, man. Yeah. You have to up it.
And that was new for me. And we know how big Stevie Wonder was, so that was definitely new for me to learn that because I had no idea.
And he was that inspired by Shining Star.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That was new to me. But then after they played a Stevie Wonder song, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I can hear it now, but I didn't put that together. Right.
Mm-hmm. And then so we're watching this, and Erica was like, and he never seen any of them concerts he was at. I was like, wow.
Right.
Wow.
Right. It's funny, but
he's right.
That's what you think.
He took it all from listening.
Yeah, ain't blind, man.
I ain't touching that.
His musical prowess is too good.
Stevie ain't blind. I'm telling you, with Ben, was you there tonight? Stevie was at church.
Yeah.
I was getting on the elevator at the same time as Stevie, and Stevie was on first, and the elevator was about to close, and he stuck his hand out the elevator. I said, "Come on, little brother." I'm just saying.
I'm not touching that.
He said, hey, man, I'm getting by there. Okay, y'all owe me, man.
Hey, but that was one hell of a night. We had this men's fellowship every Friday.
walking in.
He was just sitting. He just popped up. He was just sitting there. I mean, that was. Man, I still remember that. He was like, "Oh, I forgot where I was."
He said, "Man, I don't know where I was."
He definitely know.
I'm not messing with y'all, man.
He definitely know.
And did you pay attention to the fact that Wonder Love was there, Ben?
Yeah,
that was his guy, front row.
Yeah,
that he refers to in the songs and stuff like that.
Yeah. But let's talk about some of the songs. So they end up getting another drummer, which that was kind of crazy. That
man out there that's had 2 drummers. I've not seen that.
Yeah, me either. So I'm like, were they playing in unison, or was one of them playing something different? Like, how do you even gel that together?
A little different, intentionally,
Mr. Dye said, "Stop it."
I bet you were different intentionally, because I don't know that you can play drums in unison necessarily. Well, okay, we mentioned the movie last week, Drumline, so that proves my theory wrong, that you can play drums in unison, but that's a little different than being
because they're all playing the same exact thing.
That's right.
They're playing a snare. You're playing full set of drums, which that blew me away. I'm gonna go back and listen to it. Like, am I hearing 2 different? Or are they just playing? And so
now they didn't stay like that forever, because remember, one of the drummers got brought out front,
Right. One of the guys, the choreographer that they hired.
But that's very unique.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just, like I said, man, we live in a world in which people are always trying to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes you just need to add tread to the wheel, man. Just add some new tread to the wheel. And that's what you saw in the 70s. The 70s was such a wonderful situation. You walk in the door with Marvin Gaye and Sly Stone, and you end with Donna Summer and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Just think about that, and the rhythmic. I mean, not the rhythmic, the emotions, and Sister Sledge. One thing, like this documentary made me like. I have a playlist with Nas. It's just only Nas. It's just all Nas, and this documentary made me discover something in the 8 minutes it takes me to get to work last night. All Nas hits has actual instruments in it. It ain't a synthesized sound. It's not. It's a harp. It's a bass. It's a drum. It's a horn, and it permeates through that. And that's what we saw when we watched this last night.
Yeah,
it ain't about the words. It's about the spirit being put into the words and the collective. And again, that was the reoccurring theme with this. It is a collective. This does not work without the other pieces.
Right.
It comes downloaded through Maurice, and he used his tentacles to touch each and every person in there, which more than likely is why they were hurt towards the end as we get to
Right.
Right.
And now, let me tag team off of that, A-Trap, where you mentioned a few bands, and these are, they talked in this documentary about him allowing them to express themselves. Doesn't that remind you of George Clinton and Parliament Funk? And doesn't that remind you of bands like Sly and the Family Stone and those bands that's what they did? They let them express themselves, to where they weren't trying to hold them and say, no, you got to stay on this side of the stage. And motherfucker might just take out running with his guitar from one end of the stage to the other. And he wasn't saying, man, you got to start staying in spots. No, he let them express themselves because he knew that energy was a part of what made the collective the collective. It's that energy that even made you want to do it, let alone execute it, that added to this greatness. As long as you didn't lose your damn tune, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
And you fast forward to hip hop, A-Trap. When you think about Wu-Tang and those guys, who they were all different, and they were all they were trying to figure out, we gonna sign all of these dudes? How is this whole album gonna work? And they all had their own thing that they were able to do. But when it came to Wu-Tang, you knew who it was. You knew it was a group of them.
Especially when they showed up to Arsenio Hall, it's they got about 13 people.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
this really helped me. I mean, this touched me last night watching it. I was pissed. I'm like, y'all, I was pissed. I'm like 8 o'clock because I'm usually up at 2 o'clock. I'm watching and then I put on a break. But I got it. But this like Maurice was very spiritual with what he was doing, and it taps you into church. What does every church start off with? We pray, and then we go right to the music. The music opens you up. It opens you up to hear the message because you're sitting there, and then Pastor Dodd does it all the time. And now hey, we're gonna do a congregation song, and then he leads the song. Next thing you know, everybody up. You paying attention. It opens you up. You listening. Now that you're listening, let me give you what you need. And that's what Maurice did. That's what I really appreciated about this. That's what it was.
There's a lot of pastors out there. That's part of their thing. They got to have a song to open up. When I think about bringing a word, I think about what's going to lead me into this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even if in some structures, like when Sunday school was over, you head into the main sanctuary again, and there's just a piano medley playing, like somebody's playing something, and then it leads into you see the choir starting to fill in. But you're absolutely right. You're gonna always open up.
This was the Sunday Day March, then.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, they're marching around 15, 20 minutes.
2 steps, shit.
Right.
The reason why they take 2 steps forward and 1 step in the choir.
Yeah, exactly.
That the march it.
We always had to flip it. We wasn't just doing a 2-step.
Right.
Yeah, we had to back up, and then we started going to the side, and then we started running.
Yeah, we ran.
Man. And that's what I really appreciate about this, man. That 70s piece was immaculate when it comes to spirituality. Will spoke about it 2 weeks ago, and please expound on it when I stop. How every group during this period had a song dedicated to God, and this ties into what you said, and I'll be quiet. This is why it was so easy. This period, if it wasn't put to a halt, do you understand where our community and working class and lower working class communities would be if they would put a halt to this? We are family. The way of the world, the emotions, and what's my man name? Mavis Staples and her Pop Staples now. Express yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the trajectory that this is putting on working class, and especially, like I said on my show, I'm speaking to my people, but a rising tide lifts all boats. So if we come up, they come up. But do you understand why this had to be ended?
Mm-hmm.
Because there is
bringing people together.
Think about this, man. The hottest group in the entire world for a solid decade falls off the table because they turned the calendar.
Yeah.
Nobody coming to this concerts.
Right.
That's not realistic. Come on, dog.
Yeah.
This was the dog. You were there. I was there. We were there. Pastor Dog was there.
Yeah.
This music was the pace setter. You've never been anywhere in the history of the Black community that Earth, Wind, and Fire was played and everybody didn't. Oh, you might as well say everybody. You don't got to say everybody. Square Biz, that song. I'm talking Square Biz. No, you didn't have to say that. It ain't nobody that's watching.
Them horns.
There you go.
Yeah.
Everybody know what it is. So this lets you know, man, this was a spiritual situation that had to be put to an end because man.
Music is still, because it was funny you said that because, go ahead, read that.
He said, yes. Like when Jesus got ready to speak, he had Peter, James, and John pick the song with the temporary.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's funny. HR was bringing that up because I was just thinking about, like, have we watched the documentary? Well, besides, I think was it 1972?
Yeah,
but
one we watched. Yeah.
Well, is there a documentary out there about the music that changed, like the movement, the Black Renaissance, or the civil rights? I don't know if there is, but I was thinking about these songs that are going on during these periods and bands that are coming up out of tragedies because, Martin Luther King gets assassinated, Medgar Evers gets killed, and then you got Malcolm X gets killed, and then now you got these musical bands coming up in the late 60s or early 70s. Now you're getting into the Black Renaissance period. Mm-hmm. So this music, and like he said, mom and pop staple, like they were encouraging people, they were empowering people. Mm-hmm. So music was definitely bringing people together, even with the point where it's like, hey man, I see you're doing stuff you shouldn't be doing, but hey, respect yourself, that kind of thing. Those songs were coming out and just trying to be positive, and I get it, but it's just like he said, they had to shut that down. They can't have none of that.
Remember the show that got the Fourcast started, the film that got the Fourcast started, One Night in Miami. Mm-hmm. And if your music wasn't didn't have a message, didn't have an inspiration, didn't call on the people. Yeah. Was it Jim Brown who was saying that to, what's the cat's name, that Sam Cooke at the time? His music wasn't, and he brought up some white artists, and he was like, man, this white dude's song got more
soul than yours.
Yeah. More, call on the people than what yours do, and it was that song about what being a man was about, and I forget the artist. He's at the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of who.
Was it Bob Dylan?
Bob Dylan. That's exactly who it was, And so if your music wasn't saying nothing, if your music wasn't hitting on nothing,
especially in that time, and that's what it's funny to what Doc was saying, and you've heard me say this many times. They talk about being woke, but it's just like, let me see your playlist. But like Nina Simone said, she's like, my music is reflective of the times that we're in. The music I write is what's happening around me. If an artist cannot be conscious of what is happening around them and putting out a product, then that's not me. I don't want that. I want my music to reflect times. I want it to always reflect the moments that we're in.
Yeah. And that's a segue to
fantastic at that. Black and white, man, human nature,
Yeah. And so when we go through some of their songs, obviously, Reasons, Shining Star, that's that's the way of the world now. Reasons, I didn't know that was about that situation.
I didn't either. He's like, I'm sorry, y'all been making babies on.
Y'all been playing this at family reunions and weddings and
the fact that "Let Me Love You for One Night" was going over people's heads.
That's I used to laugh at people play it at weddings. I knew that, but I grew up in a house that people played these songs. Again, this is what segues me into hip hop culture. So words mean more to me than beats. I love the beat. I love the music, but the words always meant something to me. Like, I was like, oh yeah, this is insane. And I used to be sitting at people's wedding and they playing the Reasons. Walking, like, oh, the jump off song. Jump off song. Okay.
A white cat named Robert Atkinson taught me how to listen to music back when albums was out, because he kept vinyl. And so we would sit around burning one and listen to classic rock. And whenever we were listening to a particular artist, we would look at the back of the album and read what they had to say about it, or we take the insert out and they would tell you information that you didn't know. There's a white band called Three Dog Night. Well, what is Three Dog Night about? Well, that's telling you how cold it was where they were from, in Alaska or somewhere like that, to where if it's a 3 dog night, that means you had to have 2 on your side and 1 at your head. So that means it was real cold, a $3 night, that type of stuff, telling you where concepts for songs came from or what the song meant, and just to be sitting there reading it while you're listening to their music transforms the music and you get a deeper understanding for it.
And that's why, that's why I listen to the Steely Dan's music. It always gives me that.
Oh, you don't talk about some depth of musicians there.
The storytelling, it always like this, that we're young college kids or we're young adults, yeah, man. It was just that music, the writing is always, man. Yeah. See that? Oh man, Steely Dan's music is crazy. Yeah. The lyrics are awesome.
Hey, go back and watch it. That's the greatness of a podcast. You can while you going to work. You probably got an hour. You probably got an hour drive, so go and put it on.
While you brushing your tooth.
Wow.
All right, folks. Some of the other songs, would you mind? And so what I wanted to bring up Boogie Wonderland, because people were saying
in the morning
they loved the song, but they didn't love the song because it didn't have a meaning.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Round of applause.
You got to get up 15 minutes early then, don't you?
But talk about that song, Doc, that they didn't like it.
Yeah.
It was a hit.
People
it was a massive hit.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was their, and I had no idea. It was their one offering. They like, we're going to give y'all one. Imagine if Earth, Wind, and Fire wanted to blow up the disco scene if they could have.
Right.
They could have they could have blown it up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is our one offering. We're going to give y'all this to show you we can.
Right.
Here's a hit. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a drop the mic on their ass.
Right. And then After the Love Was Gone, that's the Philip Bailey that you were talking about. The ballad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Killed it.
I think one of my favorite
groove tonight.
I think one of my first, well, of course, the Showtime of the Apollo was always Reasons, amateur night. But my first Earth, Wind, and Fire song was That's the Way of the World. That song, for some reason, always just kind of stuck.
Wow.
The song just always kind of stuck with me. The guitar riff in there is crazy, but just the words and just how they, plant your flowers. It's one of those things where it's like, man, this is deeper than what you think it is. And I remember listening as a kid in the back seat. We had a jazz station in Dallas called the Oasis, and it was easy listening, but they would play that song all the time. But I heard it before that because we had vinyls. But that song has always stuck with me. I just thought that's one of my favorites. I enjoy that song.
Keisha said that In the Stone opening is
Hey, Trap, I don't know if you remember, but that's the song. Every time I pull my boat out, that's the song I'm playing. Because it's so majestic. It's announcing
the way it's there.
And the sound system is so you're gonna hear it throughout the entire marina. And it's like, I'm gonna put this in your ear, and all the white folks stop holding their natural light and look at
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that's what I
but they're thinking we should have never gave y'all niggas money.
Right.
You're damn right.
That's In the Stone. It's mine.
Oh yeah, fans. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Keep your head to the sky.
Yeah. And then it was just like the ad libs for Maurice White. Yow.
Oh yeah.
It was. I mean that was like the icing like on the cake. They already had the instruments. They had the vocals, but him just doing that throughout the song, I think he made it even better. That's just stuff that you remember.
He had to find his voice.
Yeah.
Think about it.
He wasn't a singer. Yeah.
Okay, let me go full circle with you. Stay with me, Wilkes, on this. Yeah. So he was a drummer, found his voice, and ended up being one of the lead singers. and ended up having a unique voice, right? That, like Ben said, changed the dynamics.
Yeah. Right.
Full circle, the Phoenix Horns leaves him, goes to Phil Collins. Phil Collins was a drummer who found his voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Because when because when Peter Gabriel left Genesis, I think in the late 70s, then Phil Collins takes over and just kind of goes from there. And then Phil Collins, I told somebody this at work one day. I was like, I don't know who's Genesis or who's Phil Collins, because when he went solo, it still sounded like Genesis. So
yeah, he was Genesis.
It was just what Phil Collins is what he did. I mean, great. That was a great setup. No,
that's like Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. For the longest, I was like, damn, Harold Melvin is pretty bad, but that wasn't Harold Melvin at all. That was Teddy Pendergrass.
Yeah. And Teddy,
I was like,
I don't know
Harold Melvin is a bum over here. He's singing in the background.
Right. I ain't paying nobody.
Think about it, man. Cool is the drummer for Cool in the Game.
Sure.
Let's not forget about Verdine skipping across the stage and all them wild yet stylish outfits. Oh yeah, they show. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh yes, definitely.
Fast forward to now, him with that Andre 3000. Hey y'all, hairstyle.
Got that Ashford and Simpson.
Shit, when I saw Earth, Wind and Fire, Verdine was playing that damn bass with his teeth, man.
Yeah, man.
And then they started adding the magic to the show. I mean, Maurice was just always looking to make the show bigger and better, which then led to we hear it in every, I'm not gonna say every, but a majority of Black documentaries, the money issue, which he would, but his wasn't because he was on crack, or his wasn't because
because
he wasn't paying people. He just wanted to be the absolute best, which cost money.
Yeah.
Hey, I think that's jive.
You don't think
that's whoppy doppy? No.
That they didn't smoke or drink?
No, not to smoke or drink. I'm talking about that it wasn't enough money, because y'all already know where I'm going with this, because it seems like every time somebody run out of money, it's one dude in front of them. That one dude.
That's the person you can put it on. They're not gonna put it on Philip Bailey.
No,
they're not gonna put it on the drummer.
Clive Davis always there when people go broke. He ain't went broke yet. Come on, man. You sell out a football stadium, and you selling out football stadiums. You on 8-month tours, and I've heard Eddie Levert say, "Man, I wish I would have went solo, because we were getting paid $70K a night. There's no way in hell Earth, Wind, and Fire selling out football stadiums didn't have enough money. Somebody's skimming off the top, man." You can tell the story if you like.
Well, like the manager said, though, he was like, "I don't know why you bringing all these cats. I'm just signing you." So it made it seem like the structure was Maurice gets the money, and then he pays them. They were more like employees than they were members of the band, which is what kind of hurt them. Later on.
I'm just looking at other documentaries that I've seen, Parliament Funkadelic and Sly Stone being two of them. And when the smoke cleared, they didn't get their money, and Clive Davis did. And Clive Davis was somebody involved with this group as well.
Yeah,
we could put it on Maurice White and say, "Hey, man, he was just a simpleton." But guess what? If he was spending too much money, shouldn't he have had some money somewhere along the way?
Yeah,
only a damn fool wouldn't pay himself.
But also it goes to, even with the past group members, they were like, "Yeah, I knew what it was." Just like Philip Bailey, they knew what it was. It wasn't like, "Well, I didn't know how much I was making." They knew how much they were getting paid. He said he was getting paid, what, $2,500 a week?
$500 a week.
So they were cool with that. So you can't
$2,500 a week wasn't nothing to sneeze at.
$3,000, man.
But I'm saying it ends up being the guy as the lead, because you married and you coming home, you was like, "Maurice got a Bentley, you driving over, you got a Ford Taurus. What's going on with that?"
don't know, man. I don't know. I find it difficult. I mean, I understand with all the theatrics. I get it. It could have been financially over the top, but it just don't add up to me. You got remember one of their when they were still pool butts, right? One of their concerts had 200,000 people there. So let's just cut that down to a third. You're telling me 70,000 people at about $40 a night, and you still $500,000 in the hole? I refuse to believe that. You know,
it's a good argument.
I refuse to believe that.
Good argument.
And I'm just saying, man.
There's a Don King somewhere.
Man, somebody get paid. Man.
Yeah, because they were talking about $1 million on outfits.
Come on, man. $1 million on clothes in 1975, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on, man. What was they making their clothes in holy garb? Come on.
You know they were just going to Hancock's.
Man, that's what I'm saying, man. They going to the fabric store.
I used to hate going to Hancock Fabrics with my mom. I hated it.
We let these
that a Texas thing?
Smell it right to this day.
And they tell it.
To this
They
day.
tell us what it is, but that ain't what it is. Man, come on, man. This is not me. Okay, watch this. 75 to 85, they killing it. Right? I mean, 75 to 70 to 80, they killing the game, right?
Yeah.
83, 84, Michael Jackson and his brothers do the same thing, and they make $1 trillion.
They tour and everything. Come on, man.
With the victory tour, they only tour in America. These dudes touring all over the world and broke. I don't give a damn if you got Doug Hannon, David Copperfield, David Blaine. Come on, man. Come on, man. How much is that costing, man?
Penn and Teller.
Houdini.
Right.
Dog. That's not adding
Both
up.
of them.
Right, exactly. Friends.
They in football stadiums, man. So you talking about 85, 90,000 people.
Both Houdinis.
Right.
Right.
Rap group Houdini.
Yeah.
Houdini.
Right.
What's his name? Tony Curtis, who played Houdini. It's not working for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they weren't broke. Okay, they weren't broke, but I think they thought like, okay, like we don't have as much as this dude had. Like he opened up this complex thing. He was doing this and doing. He didn't even invite them, and I think that's what happens in every group though.
You can't
have to lock them, man.
Rap is right? All the finance and stuff ain't on Maurice, but Maurice will tell you he did some janky shit and he regretted it.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Everybody in the history of business has went. Wait a minute, we do it. But come on, son.
Right.
Come on, man. Think about this. See, we looking at $2,500 a week. Like, damn, that's a lot of money. But that ain't really a lot of money, rap. But there's a lot of money with gas at 65 cents.
That's a lot of money to me, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
You know, I'm talking about in regards to being a celebrity. That's from our minds right now. That's not a lot of money. But when gas is 65 cents a gallon and 30 cents for bread. Come on, man, $2,500. Come on, man. You in 1970, you get a brand new Camaro for $2,800.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, easy.
4 Camaros a month, and you talking about, oh man, this nigga tripping. No,
right?
No, sir.
Yeah, I put on the note about that. I said he wasn't perfect. Neither am I. Neither are we. His imperfections aren't mine. Mine aren't his. You know.
Hey man,
neither was the band. Again, they knew the deal. Like any one of them could have left. Even when he brought them to that meeting, he was like, look, I'm about to go my separate way. They was all like, what? I thought we was still a group. Like now Philip Bailey and them going on and them doing this thing, but the rest of them, dude was selling like car stereos. And so it's a two-way street. Like they knew the deal.
No, I'm talking about being $500,000 in a whole a month.
Which, man, and I was the guy that was writing. I guess it was writing the book, but there wasn't no audio of him saying it.
Good say it wasn't just no outfit.
His outfit. All the mom.
But you know, in all the documentaries and stuff we watched, I said, you know, isn't it a Maurice White type in every
group,
Oh yeah,
every
done
group.
studied, or
Yeah,
even Elvis had one shit, didn't he? Ain't that what Colonel Parker,
the General, Colonel, something like that.
Colonel Tom Parker, whatever?
Yeah, he was skimming off the top.
Yeah.
But let me ask y'all something about Maurice White. Based on how he was, and his spiritual element and all this other kind of stuff, and we've watched Bob Marley stuff, and I said to myself, is there some Bob Marley and Maurice White?
Yeah, of course.
I would say yeah.
I think so.
You follow me? I saw some similarities there, in the depth of guys. Some of their stuff was a little different, but the way they arrived at it and their depth of thinking was very similar to me.
Just imagine if they could be in a studio together, like crazy music you would get from them two together would be
right.
I mean, and that was part of the group. They were bringing in David Foster, they were bringing in all these different guys, and they started to feel like, oh, we just here so we can play background.
Maurice White liked them white women's, didn't he?
He was keeping a little light over there.
Even his son was like, I'm the youngest son as far as we know.
They liked them white women's, didn't
he? He was running away from the darkness. He was running away.
None of that.
It's one of them, some of that alien coochie.
Kept him away for a while.
Well, I would say with Bob.
Come back to write them hits.
I mean, I would say yes, because he was counterculture, man. I mean, he saw the world the way it should have been. And then that's a lot of like we laughing at him now about certain things. But don't the people who have revolutionary minds or step outside of the box, don't they always have some major flaw?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look, Bob Marley had 450,000 kids.
Right.
He had so many kids. His kids,
and he openly didn't give a shit about money like that.
Right. And again, man, that's
white dude ask him, "Are you rich? What is rich?"
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Right, man. It's just we looking at. I'm just saying, man. I just refuse, and this is not no pro-black thing with H-Rap. I just refuse to believe all these celebrities. They're stupid. But one dude who always permeates in the midst of all of this, he never went broke, man.
Yeah.
Everything he touches turns to caca.
Yeah.
So
I just think with most groups, you're constantly, like they were saying, they were constantly working, constantly on the go, constantly moving, tours, music. You enjoying the moment, but then eventually you kind of wake up and you start to think for yourself. I think is what they end up coming down to. But again, they knew the deal.
Yeah.
You got butthurt after a time when he didn't invite y'all to the thing, and then he canceled the group. That's what kind of spearheaded them all going there.
That was some bullshit, though.
Yeah, the way he did it, yeah. But he did that to the other group members too.
That was some bullshit.
Now this time, though, he actually was there. The last time he had like the manager come and tell
this
him
thing. You done invited all these people, and we the group wasn't. That was some bullshit.
We wasn't there. Yeah, we wasn't there.
That was some bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying, it could have been his own thing. I started this with my own money, with my own whatever. Still, I mean, hell, I'm not gonna go start no shit like that, and I'm not gonna invite y'all.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm finna go with my own money. I'm gonna go buy a building, and I'm gonna set up 4 podcast studios in there, and one gonna be for cooking, and one gonna be for this, one gonna be for that. Some shit that me and Ben done talked about. But I don't invite y'all to the grand opening of this motherfucker. Y'all got to see it on TV.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not
and
in for that, and I'm not. We the night before we're not gonna do a replay of the strip club trip. Shit, you
hey, and it's right next to Brunch Room Bistro.
Yeah,
Like, that's down the street.
Yeah, it's just that now.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, but he knew he had flaws, but that lead singer, every lead singer gets the barge.
Isn't it? It's kind of
whatever
like
group you can think of.
Kind of like the Michael Jordan thing and the Magic Johnson thing, and people who are great, Michael Jackson, Prince, don't people who have that level of greatness in them gotta have some sort of selfishness and some sort of conceitedness and some sort of, you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, that helps you protect the brand.
Of asshole in them to, James Brown is the, you ain't on the one. I said on the one, nigga. You ain't on the one.
I'll fine you $5.
They say James Brown from a technical standpoint with music. If you wasn't on your shit, he was on you. So I think all of them got a little of that in them, which is what made them great. But it's a blessing and a curse,
which has also made them follow him for that long.
Yeah,
until he said, "I'm going my separate way." Otherwise, there would have been a group till the end of time, till one of them died.
Yeah.
Right. It was until he said, "I'm going my separate way."
Yeah, you got to have that so you can protect that brand. So I get it.
Yeah,
you're building something, and if they give you full control, like they just call it Air Jordan. It's not even Nike anymore. They're just saying Jordans. I mean, just like with Michael Jackson, it's like, hey, this is my music. This is I'm kind of done with the tour thing. I'm going to do my own thing now, and But yeah, it's a brand. It's something you built, and this is your vision. I think you have a little bit of that.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is they came back together in 1987. They said, and I mean, they probably still doing concerts to this day. I'm sure.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
So I mean, the legacy is there.
Philip Bailey got his son rocking with him right now too.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I mean, the 80s did away with the group by and large.
Yep.
The 80s,
but probably the 90s, 2000s though, people because they were in commercials. Mm-hmm. They started becoming in movies, and people were like, "Who is that?" And then now in today's time, people are more. They enjoy more music from the 70s and 80s, a lot of people, than they do today's music.
I'm sure there's a tally somewhere of how many times somebody's played Earth, Wind, and Fire at a wedding or at some kind of family or something. I'm sure.
All of them. One of them songs is in the playlist somewhere.
When Disney put your shit in a movie,
right?
Because it's still gonna have the same impact that it had on us when you hear it.
Right.
Now I'm just having that impact on the 30-year-old white woman taking her kid to the, Jungle Gym or Lives or whatever the hell the name of the shit is. She gonna be in a soccer van jamming this shit on the way to soccer practice now.
Right.
Because she remembers, or she, my mom used to listen, or my dad, when he was outside working on his Camaro, used to always listen to that. Hey, when he talk about, like crossover, shit, they might have been one of the earliest crossover, because they did that thing where they went and we was the only black band on the bill.
Yeah.
So that lives, man. How many white folks love Earth, Wind, and Fire, man? That might be one of the first bands that white folks mention when they talk about music and loving our music. Earth, Wind,
I'm sure.
One of the first bands I hear, or the band that I hear the most from white folks to say, "Oh, I love their music."
Yeah.
Or will be playing it on their own, or want to go to that concert.
Well, but dog, me and you've spoken about this. Growing up in the 70s, there was no white music.
That's true. That's true.
Well, Tower Power, man, they was insane, man. The Doobie Brothers, man.
Mm-hmm.
Average white band. If you didn't know Schoolboy Crush was a bunch of white boys, if you didn't know the name of the group, you thought that was James. It's people to this day. You hear that guitar riff, they think that's James Brown. So, come on, man. It ain't many people our age that don't love Sarah Smile and Hall Oates.
Mm-hmm.
So again, man, and this is, I hate to be the conspiracy brother, man. This just reeks of foolishness, man.
Yeah.
It does.
On the money thing.
No, not the money thing. It's just talking about the whole movement. You had a deconstruction of a culture because 70s music had everybody kicking it. Dog, watch this. Ben Wilkes, watch this. Dog, you were 8 years old. I was 9 years old. 1979, me and you both know the hottest dance club in the United States of America. It was in New York and Manhattan. It was called Studio 54. Why do we know that? Because everybody, you had Blondie in there. One Time Love. Why do I know Blondie's lyrics? Come on, man. I'm one listening to that foolishness, but I know Blondie's lyrics. I mean, dude, we come on, man. Doc remembers what's the dude, the white dude at the piano with the captain's hat. Captain and Tennille.
Captain and Tennille.
We know that, man. We know.
Do you tell me one more time?
Rocket Man. They were merging culture.
Man like you.
At the top, you cannot have the merging of culture because at that point you can no longer pit people against each other. And if you lose the power of the pit, the people at the top lose power.
Yeah, that's right.
Look at the internet now. Young black man gets shot in the back. Now you got Asian people making videos because black people are saying, "Hey man, maybe we just start shopping with each other." And y'all mad, and you ain't ever been into a soulful joint in your life.
Right.
This is why this.
Why is they chilling?
This.
You put soy sauce.
This is why I say this isn't a mistake. This is control, man. Because everybody's stupid, man. Right. They want us to believe everybody in the history of music is dumb and don't put it together. Nah, man.
Cut it out.
And look, ironically, the two dudes from the 80s who left groups, who consistently left groups, well, one left a group and then one, he kept reinventing himself and one left a group. Prince and Michael Jackson, when they realized how to beat the system, they started using drugs and died. One was a vegan, another was a Jehovah's Witness. I'm just saying, man.
Yeah.
This ain't adding up, man.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
Right. And me and Rich, we did 72. We even mentioned how it is strangely ironic that these groups who were evolutionary to culture and music, substance, all of them get strung out on drugs.
Yeah. All of a sudden.
It's them though.
Yeah. Didn't they have somebody like that in the Aretha Franklin movie? The cat came to the party and he was dropping off the drugs and I got something new to try. I'm like, oh Lord.
And then it's this movie Body and Soul with Leon Isaac Kennedy, my man Leon Isaac Kennedy and Jane Kennedy. They literally told the dude, we got something special for you.
Yeah.
It was crack, man. Man, maybe I'm, I've been told time and time again, Brian, you in your head too much. Maybe that's just another moment of being in my head too much, but it just does not add.
Right. Yeah, it's happening.
Everybody meet the same demise, man.
Yeah, it's happening.
And a lot of times, like in Whitney Houston's situation, the label had a guy that brought the studio, and we just give you a little bit, and then you go ahead and do the song, and then we'll. I mean, it's just to give the artist enough so that they can make music.
That situation.
Clive?
Oh, okay. Man. Yeah. If it happened once, it's a coincidence. If it happened twice, it's happenstance. If it happened 3 times, it's a pattern. Happened 4 times, that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's the MO. All right, let's get to some final thoughts. And our mic rating, A-Trap, we already have yours, but final thoughts?
Final thoughts, this was an excellent peek at excellence. You got to see process. You got to see dream. You got to see development of a personality, development of a dream, elevation of a dream, and continuation of a dream. This is the blessing manifesting itself right in front of you. God blesses you with an idea, gives you the intestinal fortitude to march through that idea. Allow, as you further connect with the creator, the idea develops and allows you to enrich yourself. And then Clyde Davis step in, mess it all up, and then you get back on point. Yeah, I said that on purpose. But I really appreciated this story. And like Doc said, I will stand down on my opinion with the I didn't push back on Doc, but I will go ahead and give it up to Doc on that in regards to it should have been more layered and we should have got to know more people. But this is another reason why I gave it a 4.9, because Questlove should have known that. He should have called Doc. How am I do this? And the Knicks look like they're losing. Damn it, man.
Yeah.
I think they're losing. Yeah.
Yep. They 102 to 108. 3 minutes left. They got time. Wilkes, final thoughts.
I thought it was done real well. I mean, I learned more about things that I wasn't aware of, especially the influences on each other as artists. You know, we ran across these cats ran across us. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I remember some of these album covers too, and I was telling Ben, Questlove was talking about like how when he was growing up, they were talking about, oh, they got demonic images on these covers, and it's just like how they talk about how what you don't understand, you want to denounce it easily as, oh, that's of the devil or whatever. But no, I enjoyed it. I thought it was done well. I love to see these kind of musical documentaries. I think Dog mentioned it earlier. Why was this song written? What inspired this song? You know, what inspired this track? What inspired this album? The entire album. You know, so I thought it was good. I'm looking forward to some more music documentaries, but I do love a good documentary.
Yeah.
What you get, Wilkes, a 5?
Yeah, 5.
Man, Questlove is, again, this has got to, I think it's the third, because he did the Harlem music festival type thing. He did this, and he did Sly. You say?
I said night. You said Harlem. I said night.
Yeah, he did the Sly Stone one too, which was good.
Summer
Soul.
Summer Soul.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, it's an easy 5 for me. I felt like I learned a lot. I enjoyed it. The music again was great, but you get to hear some of the backstories. You know, people being interviewed that were in the group, his kids, you know, his partner, and we all got flaws. I mean, I wasn't expecting him to be perfect, but it was good to hear his story. Now, doing the show tonight, yeah, I would have wanted to see some of the other people's backstories, but I'm gonna still give it a 5. I feel like it was well done. We didn't even talk about some of the imagery that they had when he was a kid, and they had the kind of that. It was kind of like a color paint or drawing that they had, watercolor. There you go. So I mean, that was well done. So shout out to Questlove again. All right, Doc.
Yeah, I mean, I'm such a huge Philip Bailey fan that I'm in my feelings about it, admittedly, and as a result, I can't give it a 5. You know, I'm 4.5, 4.75. Take whatever you want, but I just can't give it the full, complete 5. But just FYI, the only rating I'd seen by the time I got through watching it was IMDb, and they gave it 8.1 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes didn't have anything yet at the time, so
yeah, we right on we right there at the probably one of the first to review it. So
yeah, but one quote of the film for me was, "If you don't go out on the limb, you're never going to get the fruit."
Good.
Yeah, I definitely almost missed this one. I woke up at 9 o'clock. I was like, oh, yeah, I'll be up all night with this one.
Yeah, but I mean, it was one of those that you wanted to watch it. Yeah, you wanted to watch it to the end.
I was ready.
And rest in peace, Maurice White. 2016. I didn't realize it was that long ago that he passed away. So,
and I felt like that was going right into a Grammy season too, because I felt like they were up for something and they had won like some Grammys that night. I think it was leading up to that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we don't have anything on the schedule for next week, but we will find out something. We will review it. Okay. 111 to 108, 33 seconds left. Knicks only down by 3. And it's Madison Square Garden. Anything can happen.
5 now.
They're down by 5.
113, 108.
Yeah.
Clive Davis got some money on the Spurs.
Yeah, I got some view.
But all right, A-Trap, you want to close us out?
Yeah, man. Thank you for tapping in. Hit that like, hit that share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't. It is important to continue to grow our movement. It is wonderful to entertain you each week. As Doc said, we watch movies and documentaries so we can have conversations. So we would really appreciate it if you left a comment or if you join the conversation next week. BS3 Network on all available platforms. The End of the Bench Media. Tap in, tell a friend to tell a friend to tap in. 2 fingers, 1 word. He Ben, he Wilkes, he Dog. I'm Rap. We are